A new artificial intelligence app is sweeping the App Store, sparking baby fever amongst a generation known for plummeting parenthood and marriage rates. The app is called Remini and can reportedly generate images that give a good guess about what a couple's child could look like, allowing for adults who may have a hard time seeing themselves as parents to now see themselves holding a lifelike child right before their eyes. One 25-year-old woman said that Remini made feelings of motherhood rush over her. And although she'd previously given up on motherhood, she could now see herself getting there someday. While this seems like fun and games to some, others are concerned that this technology, paired with in vitro fertilization, could make the growing designer baby market an even more daunting reality. Parents are already using in vitro to select for characteristics like eye and hair color, skin pigmentation, and even whether they have a boy or a girl. Joining us to discuss this alarming possibility is Heritage Foundation Research Associate Emma Waters. Emma, thanks for joining me. What was your first reaction to learning about this app? I know you're a new mom, so I'm very curious what you thought about this.
So on the one hand, I think this technology is very exciting. Like you said, it allows people who may not be around many babies or even have a partner to really envision what life can look like with a child. Seeing themselves and a child smiling really paints a positive picture of what the future could look like. But on the other hand, right after that, my mind just went to the implications of this with the assisted reproductive technology space. And so the thing with Remini and other AI-generated apps like it is that these apps are not necessarily limited to what is real or what is true or what is even necessarily good. So what happens, for example, when these apps are used to condense the pictures of two women or two men, and then you're creating a child that in reality couldn't be produced, but you're creating a market for a thing that science is actually learning how to do slowly but surely, that undermines, I think, what is really good when it comes to the family.
That's a really good point. And we know that genetic prediction isn't always 100% reliable. Can you talk about some of the instances of parents demanding their money back because their children came out different than they'd ordered?
Yeah, and this is the problem if the fertility industry uses AI to create this build-a-child boutique experience, because all of a sudden the creation of a child isn't this mysterious gift-like experience where parents gladly receive the child that they're given, but instead parents are like brought into this room where they're shown a host of options, right? So Remini will show you about 20 different options for what a child could look like.
Crazy.
And then parents are able to say, well, we really like her to have red hair, but blue eyes is a fun combination. And I think we want this one to be a boy. And so then they're able to sort of design this product that's literally manufactured or handmade to be what they want. But we have instances just of last year where a gay couple actually ordered a child through in vitro fertilization and commercial surrogacy, and they wanted it to be a boy. But when the surrogate found out what sex she was having, it turns out it was a girl. And the men were genuinely upset, and they went back to their clinic and sued them and said that we ordered a boy. Why did you give us a girl? And this isn't just a product we're talking about. This is human life itself.
Right, right. And this could lead to potential abortions. Like, people could go so far as to end the life of that child if it's not exactly what they want. And Emma, this app is fairly new. Can you tell us about who's using it, particular demographics? What's its potential to become really mainstream?
Yeah, it's a great question. So the app has a pretty high download use rate. It's about $10 a week to use, which suggests that given the number of people downloading it, something that actually seems to really hit the spot for a lot of Americans these days. And if you think about the number of Americans who really are living their life mediated by a screen, some of the holdover of the COVID restrictions, that a lot of people are really starting to view themselves through the lens of technology and through the lens of machines. And it appears to be something that's actually really, that a lot of people are really interested in.
For many generations, you alluded to this a little bit, new mothers and fathers have anticipated their child with curiosity and excitement. It wasn't until very recently, I think the past 50 years or so, that you could identify even the sex of your baby via an ultrasound before you had your child. So how do you think new technologies have changed the experience of having a baby? Good, bad? What are your thoughts?
So on the one hand, we know that women who are considering an abortion, if they have the opportunity to hear the fetal heartbeat, to see the child on the sonogram, that they're actually more likely to keep the child. And this is an example of technology rightly affirming what is before the woman's eyes and encouraging them in a path that is good. And to the degree that AI is being used that way, I'm fully in support. And so I think to that end, it's been a very good thing. But with a largely unregulated fertility industry like we have in the United States, IVF alone brings in about $3 billion annually.
Wow.
The entire industry brings in about $8 billion. You know that there are a lot of actors who are there to make the most money that they can, which means that for adults who are considering a child, especially in a very consumerist driven culture, there's the possibility that it's going to reshape our expectations and reshape the way we think about kids. If kids are no longer something that primarily come from the union of a husband and a wife, but are something that you can create and design according to needs, legitimate needs that you have, or just desires that you have for the kids, then I think that we're on a very slippery slope where having kids becomes more like ordering a product rather than receiving a gift.
Yeah, that's very insightful. Emma, anything else we should be aware of about all of this before I let you go?
I think it's just important to remember that apps like virtual babies that allow machines to become like humans have their moments, but actually they don't last very long. But what we're really concerned about here with AI is that AI reduces humans to be like machines. And so that we make decisions and then create future generations of children that are more like machines, that they are full adults. And I think that's the large problem that we need to keep in mind when we're dealing with all sorts of things in this area.
Yeah, well, there's a lot to tackle in this area, and we're glad that you're continuing to keep track of it. Thanks for joining us, Emma Waters. Really appreciate your insight.
Thank you.